We good?
Yeah.
All right. Yes, sir. Welcome to the Von Rebel Show. Today, I got a special guest, Ronan X. Man, he's a long, like he's a friend, bro. Like he's just like one of my like dope friends, man. He's a great artist, great creator. I sometimes think he's an alien, bro, for real. The way he comes up with all these like ideas out of nowhere, man, and just makes it happen. So, thank you for being on the show today.
No, dude. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, yes.
I love it. Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. No, really, thank you for having me. Truly. I just want to say before we get into the nitty gritty, the setup, the new setup, man. We have been doing podcasts, and we've been together in the paint for so long.
Hell yeah.
You know, we've really seen each other grow and stuff. You know, and like I'm honestly super impressed with how far you've taken the podcast. Truly, truly.
Thank you, man. I really work hard for this, man.
I
like
remember when you were
I
talking
was,
about it. I remember when you were doing it
bro.
small,
I
and now it's
manifested
this.
it.
Like,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I
The
manifested
LCD
that, bro.
screens, man. It's
I-
crazy.
Hey, man, hard work, bro. But and shout out to Habari Entertainment for believing in me and what I got going on. So
Yeah,
thank
no,
you.
this is legitimate. Seriously, this is so professional too. I'm blown away. I'm blown
Oh,
away. I just gotta say that.
We
Had to say that.
definitely. I know you give me my flowers, but I'm gonna give you your flowers
Okay.
right now. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? You got a new movie coming out, Symphony X. How do you feel right now?
Wow. A little bittersweet. You know, it's been a long run. Um, there are a lot of different things, especially with the history of this project too, that come to mind, and you know, I'm just really grateful that I'm still able to do this. Really, you know, still able to work with a team that gets me and wants to get me, and you know, I have never taken that for granted. Never
Okay.
taken that for granted. So I'm very, very happy about it. I'm very, very happy, and I'm honestly more excited to finally get to this point of talking more about it and
I know.
get out a little bit of the invisible stage, you know, because I feel like that's always a part when creating stuff, you know, where you keep it in the chamber, you know, you keep it kind of locked away. You're in the cave, they say. So I'm very excited, very, very excited.
Hey, I'm excited for you. When we did our first interview, like I said, it was in my living room, like probably like last year.
Hmm.
He is crazy to see how he manifested everything that he has going on right now. Like he literally was in the living room, and I have the clip too. I like posted it. He was in the living room talking about this, so he already had these ideas like formulated in his brain, and he just was ready to like put it out into the world. So,
Yeah, and I truly just needed the time.
yeah,
You know, I
how
needed
did
the
you do
time.
that? How did it start though?
Well, there's a lot of you know, there's always one thing that leads to the other, of course. You know, there were a lot of doors that closed, a lot of doors that opened. You know, and I got lucky every once in a while, truly. Um, but I'm passionate about filmmaking. I'm passionate about all the components and the mechanisms and all the alchemy that goes within it, and just creating art in general. So, you know, had the ideas to do this for a while, you know, and I'm just kind of keep pushing the journey, just seeing that how far I can take it, how experimental I can make it, uh, you know, trying to push the boundaries, push the limits with all my work, you know. So everything is, but at the same time, everything is still new to me. I still make sure to try to keep everything fresh and still experimental to the point where I'm still learning from it. You know what I mean? I'm not just doing the same thing.
Now, usually I see that you're like acting in the movies. Now I see that you're directing this movie.
Hmm. Hmm.
So how is that? How has that shift been?
Yeah, this is, if I'm being honest, this is really the first project that I've taken dialogue like really seriously. Writing the script and stuff with Isaac and getting his opinions on it and just us throwing it back and forth on top of all the other stuff we're doing as well. I wanted to keep that in mind. You know, I wanted to keep that in mind. I really wanted to write strong dialogue. You know, I wanted to convey strong emotions and stuff, and I didn't want it to be silly. Of course, I don't think anyone wants their stuff to be silly, but those are all the things I was generating, and just making sure I was taking the time to take it as seriously as I can, and also separate it from all the other work that I've done in the past.
Okay, okay. And I know you worked with Isaac on this film. How is it like working with him in like the behind the scenes part? Do you guys bump heads? Is there ideas that you're kind of conflicting about, or is everything like a mutual thing and you guys just kind of get it together?
Yeah, no, I really think it is as simple as that. Not everyone you're gonna meet is gonna understand you or present you ideas or tickle that part, of course. But I think the special thing about him, truly, amongst so many things,
Yeah.
is that he really allows me to express my multidimensional self. So there's so many different facets, and we're all when we do projects together, there's so many different facets and so many different faces and so many different things we're working on kind of like at the same time. And um he really grants me that space to express all those avenues. So it's really cool. We've been doing projects for a long time. He's really the only guy I really want to fucking work with, truly, honestly. And he deserves his own fucking flowers, man. He's such a hard worker, and he's out here just like everyone else, and couldn't have been done without him,
Oh
truly.
yeah, oh yeah. And I'm very glad to see this project coming along. When I watched it, it provoked so many emotions. It got in it. Okay, so the trailer didn't have any dialogue, but you
Hmm.
said the actual film does.
Absolutely.
Now, just from the trailer, the emotions that I got just from the sound.
Mm.
Do you create your own sound for this?
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely working on films. It's funny because working on films, I've started to understand how much I love, uh, not necessarily making music, but composing it. And I use that word specifically because when I'm in that space, I'm not making a beat or an instrumental. There's people I have to seek after who play certain type of instruments. There's choir elements we're implementing and stuff, and operatic tones. But not just this project, Symphony X, but and also other ones that I've really, really gotten a love and a knack for. I love blending electronica and heavy doom metal and psychedelia. I love all those components. And if I'm being honest, I know that I've started, with the earlier symphony projects, doing some rap lyric based stuff, and this project, Symphony X, definitely still has that, but I am stepping away from that type of music to reinvent it a little bit. And, I want to kind of delve deeper into composing music truly, truly, and yeah, I mean, I've been doing that for a while. And with the films me and Isaac have been doing together, that is where the rut and the core of it has really been made, So it's kind of funny because, I got into doing the symphony projects, um, really wanting to do film.
Okay.
And now that I've done film, I really want to do music. It's very, very funny, and I did
You're just
not
going
plan
in
for
a
that at
circle
all.
now.
Yeah, I did not
So
plan for that at all.
okay. So you kind of just tying all your just tying everything together, man. You got the fashion in there, you got the music, you got you're writing for the film, you're
Yeah.
directing it. You just got
Yeah.
everything going.
Yeah, it's truly just a collection of everything that I'm a fan of and everything that I love.
Okay.
Truly, at the core of it, you could dissect the story, you can look at the music and stuff like that. You can look at the characters, but truly, it's just a culmination of everything that I love, everything that I'm a fan of.
Who do you think is your like favorite character in your film that when we watch it we're going to be watching for?
Yeah, right, right. The trailer is very mysterious.
Yeah, it is.
And I've gotten a lot of questions about like what exactly is going on, to say the least, or like what is it about, or the major theme. um and it is a criminal thriller. It does have mafia elements, um but it also kind of subverts its genre and becomes more horror themed. And that is something that is like my true love, really. And that's kind of something about this project I've been a little bit secret about, but To answer your question, um, I think people are not going to expect that what that horror element entails truly.
Ooh. Okay.
I'm very very excited to finally express my deep love for the classical themes, Hammer films, all that stuff, all that classic horror, and I don't think people are going to be ready for that.
Yeah,
Personally, and
I'm
I'm gonna
ready.
blow that out of the water.
Yes, yes. Hold on, let me give
Thank
a
you,
nice applause
thank
for
you.
that.
That's
Um,
great. That's great. This is crazy.
I got some crazy stuff for you, man,
Of
because
course.
I'm very interested in your projects. Like
Yeah.
it's different. It's different. You don't really see too much of that in Arizona,
Mm,
especially like the lane that you're in.
mm,
It's just
mm.
something that stands out. So I'm trying to dig a little deep into it.
Oh, of course.
Um,
Of course.
is there any moments that you couldn't create that you envisioned with this film,
Mm.
or does everything you make everything work?
I try very hard to, if I'm being honest. I'm kind of a little bit. I can be a little bit arrogant about that. I think you're never gonna get it right, but precision alone is something that is like very, very paramount to me. I mean, you could be crazy, uh, thinking about it, putting it together, organizing the people for it, but the execution has to be flawless. Flawless, you know. Um, so I take that very seriously. So of course, though, there are compromises you have to make. You know, scheduling, just people's interests and stuff like that. And I think I've always compromised in the best ways when those type of things arise. You know, so I'm gonna say no.
No.
No. Maybe things have like reverted or changed, or maybe I flipped them on their heads, but there was nothing uh that I was thinking about in the pre-planning of any of my projects that I was like, damn, I wish I could have done that instead. No.
Okay.
I mean, because there are a lot of also like when you go through the motions of making it, there are a lot of new ideas that also come up that add to it, you know? So I'm gonna say no on that.
Does it create a lot of pressure with your your team, because you said that you like things the way that you like them, but is that like a lot of pressure on the team to where it's like, all right, this got to come out good, like this, we can't, there's no mistakes in this, like
No.
it's
I
never like
mean,
that?
I've worked with my team for a long time, so they just kind of know me. They know how I operate really. But no, I'm not breathing down on anybody. Absolutely not. I trust the process, of course. And I've always been a proponent of when things are like ready, they're ready. I've never been someone to crank out a bunch of projects, albums, short stuff. I've always been a quality over quantity person. So I make sure to take the time to really, really know it, study it, and really execute it perfectly. So I'm not doing stuff on a whim. These things are very organized, they're very pre planned, they're very tight and neat, and I try to maintain that so things like that don't happen.
Okay,
Pretty much, pretty much.
that was a great answer.
Thank you, thank you. That's
Give
crazy.
you a round of applause.
But listen, there's pressure that comes with any, because it's just expectation, really. When you're doing I guess my saving grace is that we're really doing this for the love of the art. We're not doing this for anybody. We're not. I'm not trying to do this to sell something or to convince anybody of anything. I'm doing it truly for it's a reaction. It's a reaction to me being an artist, to living in this world and seeing things through a lens, unfamiliar lens. So um, I think having that be the ulterior motive,
Yeah.
truly, kind of stifles and kind of gets rid of that fear or that expectation. You
Okay.
know, the attachment to the result is what I'm kind of talking about.
Do you can you kind of describe the like behind the scenes vibes? Like what are you doing? Like what's their process?
Hmm. It's funny hearing that question because it's like it's so second nature to me. It's so second nature. We've been doing this for so long, so there's just we just understand the alchemical process. But it's also a part that people don't see. You always see the final result. You always see what's polished and what's fancy. You don't see the blood, you don't see the sweat, you don't see the tears, you don't see the things that don't work, and then me having to reposition, me having to reorganize, the deletion of that and then the rewriting of that. Nobody really sees that process. So um there's that, of course, and then there's like actually doing it. If I'm being honest, I think the way we run these things are time conservative. Like, we know what we want, we know what to get, and they never really have problems like that. They never have problems like that. Of course, there are some bad experiences and some bad people and apples and stuff like that. And of course, there's ego. You know what I mean? But it's just being with people that you trust, really. I mean, it could be me all I want, of course, but like, it's really being around people that you trust. Finding that, being around that is honestly just half the battle. I can't take the credit. I
Yeah.
can't take the credit for all of it. Um, but yeah, I think it's really just doing it. Preferably, also for me, I like to shoot as much as in camera as possible.
Yeah.
So, we're at those locations, we're doing those fight scenes, or we brought in, we made a creature, or we made the practical effects, the stuff we did for Augment, all that stuff was in camera, we
Shout
made
out.
all that stuff. Yeah.
I just want to shout out to that too.
Yes, of course.
They have a film called Augment that is on Prime Video.
Hmm.
Is it? Is right? Has it dropped already?
Oh yeah, yeah, it's been out.
Okay.
It's been out.
So
Yes.
you guys can go check that out.
Yeah, Augment and Shadow Valley are two brilliant pieces done by my partner Isaac Joel, who's a brilliant director and cinematographer and editor and everything all in one. And I worked very, very closely on those things with him, developing that, making the music for it, composing that, and everything, and the rollout of those things. So we had a lot of fun, and those projects have taught us a lot of lessons about that, about the whole game in general. So yeah, absolutely. Shout out to that, man. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for those things.
Yes, yes.
Truly.
Okay, so hold on, let me turn this down a little bit. So okay, so as you're working with Isaac, right? Do you think that you guys are gonna win some type of like award for this? Like, are you looking forward to that? Do you do it for that, for the achievements, or is it kind of just like it's just my art? If people love it, they love it. If they don't, they don't.
We might have different opinions about that. We might have different opinions. But you know, the film festival thing is something that we're also looking to experiment with, and is something that's still new. Um, you know, you were asking me questions and stuff a little bit earlier, and I kind of am looking to take my films, or whatever I decided to do with them, and I'm just a big fan of our premieres and stuff that we've been throwing for our past projects and stuff alike. I've just been a really big fan of, like, just the people who turn out to those, the intimacy of that. And I personally really want to take more and do more of those things. So I don't necessarily know if I'm going to do more film projects after this. I've poured a lot into Symphony X, and it's really, really big, and it's bad, and it's mean, and it's rough and tough of a project. Um, but I really just want people to see it and talk about it, and like this, like, just have questions about. I want to make stuff that will be able to continue the conversation. Really, that's the most satisfactory thing to me. That those are the things that I like in art, and those are things I find inspiring to me about any type of art piece. The fact that it, like, massages my brain, that it, like, pierces something in me, that it could be one thing, it could be the color or whatever the fuck, but there's something about it. Uh it's just like the aesthetic catharsis of an art piece, is something that is a feeling I'm looking to replicate even with my own stuff. If that makes any sense. If that makes any sense.
No, I'm just listening, man. I'm just listening.
Yeah, but I mean, we want people
I
to see
understand.
see our stuff as much as possible. So of course the film festivals and the websites and the premieres definitely help that. But we just want people to see it as much as possible.
No,
truly.
and we'll have it at the bottom scrolling the website where you guys can go find this film and support it, man. Just support and uplift the community, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you
we're
know what
doing
I'm
a lot of great
saying?
stuff. We're doing a lot of
I
great
love.
stuff, and my friends are doing a lot of great stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like the people that we work with are also doing crazy shit, and
Oh
it's
yeah, I
awesome.
see it. I
You
see
know, it's
it. It's
awesome.
crazy. I love it. I honestly, because you don't, I noticed that you don't like to spill the beans on the film, especially like to really know what it's about.
Yeah,
Do you want people to just like interpret it in their own way, or are you just gonna leave it like kind of just like out there, you know, where you don't really explain it, kind of let them
mm, hmm
interpret it?
hmm
Like, how
I'm
do you want to do it?
see. That's the thing. You know, I think the a huge mis it's a huge misconception is that like I'm mysterious because like I don't want people to know. It's really not that. It's just it's more of like I don't want. You know, I think interpretation is imposed on others, truly.
Yeah.
And I think a good art piece is just to be contemplated and admired. Um, you know, I don't want to impose my interpretation on anyone and have because that's going to taint their opinion. And then, in my opinion, that like lessens the authenticity of that opinion if they have one. Does that
Okay.
make sense? So, you know, I don't want I don't want people I don't have a goal in mind, you know, getting people to watch it. It's just uh I think at the end of the day you just look at it as truly a feat of creativity, you know, the structure, you know, the form of it, the subjects of it is unlike anything we've ever worked with and anything I personally have seen, you know, and I'm very very excited to kind of bring that to fruition, you know. And whatever I do in whatever we do in the future and stuff, you know.
No, okay. So you said you've been working on this since the last time I talked to you, right?
Yeah,
So
it's
how long is the actual film?
uh I can't really give a solid answer for you, but
Yeah.
I would probably say close to an hour.
Then you've been working on it for a year, and yeah, that's definitely some detail in that. Some
Yeah.
really
And you're right. You're right. That is
yes,
a big like question is because the stuff that I do too, it's like every scene we shoot, everything we do to go into it,
yeah,
it's different camera style, you know, it's a different inspiration, it's a different movement, different extras, you know, creatures, stuff that isn't human, you know, all that takes so much like just so much decision making, you know, because it's chaos truly. And you gotta I'm trying to figure out necessarily like how to managing that and juggling the things that you like and stuff takes a lot of time,
yeah,
you know, it takes a lot of time. um I mean, it took me a long time to even think about it. You know, it
yeah,
took me a long time to because it's not even just thinking about it. It's also what I wanted to do with it, how I wanted to show it to people, you know, how I wanted to talk about it. You know, all those things were all conversations I had in making this project. You know, it wasn't just something that I just wanted to do because I, you know, had the ability to or anything. No, all this is premeditated. You know, um, so but we're very close, you know, we're very close. I think, you know, starting this initial rollout is really awesome, especially with the development of the website. You know, and I want to shout out Ruben Rapalda, our VFX guy, our computer guy, man. He is a master when it comes to Photoshop and all those elements. And he's worked with us since Shadow Valley and just been in the paint with us since the beginning, truly. And I just want to especially thank him for that because he also developed that whole title sequence at the end from scratch. You know, when
what?
I was talking about this is so crazy because like when I was talking about the idea for it, you know, I wanted the title to have its own scene to it, you know, and I was talking about that with Isaac and I was showing him some stuff and we were getting some ideas and we just couldn't find anything like that could like fit that. You know, we couldn't find anything to you know, we couldn't buy a plugin. We couldn't buy like anything to format to the idea that I
You
was
had to
talking
create
about,
it, create
you
it.
know, and we made it from scratch. And like that's cool because we're at that point now where it's like, you know, we can make anything, you know, we can generate anything, you know, like all the footage we're filming is ours, all the things we're editing are ours, all the music is built from the ground up. Like I'm not necessarily gonna say these things are totally original, right? It's hard to say now, but like really, really, really developed ideas, man. And love that guy, truly. I think with the website too, and his development with the website, we wanted to have a different rollout for it. You know, I think our projects truly are just too big for social media now. If I'm being
Yeah,
honest, too big for YouTube.
nice.
I'll even say that. If I'm
Yeah,
if I'm big headed for saying that, that's fine.
I
But
agree though.
I when it comes to releasing this stuff, we have to. I think we have to be smart, truly, and I think this project too, Symphony X, is just so it's so much more uncensored. It's so much more violent. It's so much more edgier in its symbolism that I have to kind of take that into account now. So we wanted to put it on a platform where we wouldn't be interrupted with any of that censorship or any of that the lesson of the quality or anything like
It's
that.
smart. It's smart.
Yeah,
For real.
yeah, and it's easy to communicate. It's easy to communicate. Most importantly, so the first trailer is up. There will be a second final trailer. There will only be two trailers, and then the film will come out. I mean, we'll have a premiere first, but right after that, the film will honestly be out to you. It's not even like a stream thing. You don't even download it. You just type in the website and it's there. We're gonna
Okay.
be also be uploading more stuff on and updating the website as well. We really just wanted to make sure the platform was solid, just to put it out there in general.
Man, I'm just lucky to have you on talking about it and sharing your idea and sharing your work and content on the platform, man. It's cool. It's dope. You feel me? Because I'm gonna
Dude,
look back at this and be like, bruh, I know he's blowing up for sure. Like you guys go check him out.
dude, I really appreciate it, man. And that goes for all of us in some way, in some right, and I truly feel that. I truly feel that.
Before I because I know you got to be somewhere,
Okay.
but before I even roll it out, I want to know what was your favorite part about making this film. What was your favorite part? Favorite like scene? You don't have to go into it too
hmm
much.
hmm
But can you give us some insight on that?
hmm Yeah, I think my honestly, my favorite part is just fucking putting it together, man. Like when it works out, when
Yeah.
it's like going, when the plans that you had in mind are working and it's moving, and it's alive. That
Yes.
that is truly my favorite part of making any art piece or art project or anything, whether it's a film or a piece or anything. That's truly my favorite part where it's all worth the struggle,
Yes. Yes.
truly.
Love it. Love it.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Seriously.
Is there anything that you can have us looking forward to seeing from you in the future before we end it? Like
Yeah.
what are you doing after this? Like let us
Yeah.
know.
Well, the symphony project is big, and it's supercharged and it's filled to the brim. And don't know if I'm going to be making any other film projects at that after that. Truly, I always had the idea of making three symphony projects. Don't know what they were going to amount to. Don't know what they were going to entail, but I just wanted to do three of them.
Yeah.
Three of these audio visual experiments. And now that I'm at that point now, I'm thinking of my next plan of attack, of course. And I just want to get bigger and better. I am definitely going to be composing heavier on other people's projects as well.
Oh, okay.
I want to bring more original music to people's stuff. Everyone loves to get we call it stock footage, but everyone loves to, I feel like there's not like composers out here. I'm not talking about beat makers. I'm not talking about necessarily producers. It's a different niche category of music making, and to be honest, it's original.
Okay.
So I think there's a huge market and a huge base for people who are looking for that in their commercials, in their video games, whatever. And I'm really wanting to lean more into that because I feel like the music elements is truly, truly an untapped power of mine. And I really want to lean into that. And along with that, I do want to be, and I'm gearing towards creating more experiences. I want to do more art installations. I've been going to a lot of great ones the past couple of years. Um, museum art galleries and stuff in Los Angeles, and I'm just loving stepping into something.
Right.
It's one thing making a film, right? It's one thing listening to a song. You can listen to a song and you just go to bed, or you could just do whatever. You can watch a movie and you probably if it doesn't speak to the order of your own life, you're just kind of going to really forget about it.
Yeah.
Even if it is a good movie or even if it is fun, right? I want to develop things where you can step into truly and step out of. And a lot of that is visual and a lot of that is auditory, similar to a film. But, you know, talking with a lot of painters, talking with a lot of performance artists and stuff. I really want to bring that more and develop more of those installation elements to those things, and that is something I'm very very excited for too. I've been working with I've been talking with a lot of organizers and just like people who event plan and stuff, and if I am going to do any type of other film project, there will be released or those will encompass those type of things. But be on the lookout for that. I definitely
I'm
want,
watching.
I definitely am going to, you know, try to pierce the underground a little bit more with
Yes.
the installations, with just obscure imagery and macabre art and all the things we love, all the things we love, and I've been talking with a lot of DJs and stuff that make rave music, post punk, like dark electronic stuff. So it's like I really got a lot of interesting ideas, but that is definitely gonna come into the future. I'm really focused on focused on getting this project out, and
Right.
talking about it after the fact. We're really really excited to see what there is to offer with it. I don't think people are going to they're going to anticipate. I don't think people are going to suspect, and I don't think people are going to realize maybe till after um, dissecting the themes and stuff like that. So um, I know I've said it before, talking about my excitement for it, but
I know you seem really
yeah,
excited.
it
I'm
just
loving it.
can't. But also at the same time, it couldn't have been done without these people, without the extras, without everyone who's behind the scenes, without everyone who's editing stuff. It cannot be done. It cannot be done, and truly, that deserves its own right. So, uh, I'm trying to kind of go out with this film stuff in a bang, in a bang.
Wait, this is your first one that you directed, and this is your last one. Like this is why are you gonna leave? You can't leave us like that. You feel like
Yeah, well, I mean,
the people are
it's
gonna want more.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. Well, I think a lot of people don't recognize that there are time limits with things,
yeah,
you know. Um, there are a lot of people I know that are afraid to step away or try something new, and they just keep doing the same thing or just keep doing what works for them.
yeah,
You know, I truly, truly believe in the philosophy of experimentalism, even in my own life. So it's like I have to, also honor that and go and venture into other lands and attack things that I haven't like seen or tried or experienced before. Sometimes just to see if I can do them, but also to see the people that I could meet through that, the connections I could make and the other stuff I could make and how those things could elevate this and that and stuff. And it all works out at the end of the day. So it's not for certain. I don't know if I'm not really set. Honestly, after the symphony project, I mean, I'm personally not really set on I don't have any other ideas for any other film projects, truly.
right.
That might change though. That might change. That might change. And we'll see. We'll see.
I'm ready for it, man. You guys tap into that site that we have scrolling at the bottom. If you want to just shout it out so that
Yeah, of course. You can watch the full trailer and keep up with any updates on the film. That is at the symphonyx.com. Really, really simple. The symphonyx.com. That's where we're putting all the stuff. That's where you'll be able to get all that information and, keep updated with all the drops pretty much. I only really I'm only really active on Instagram, and I know you've already plugged that and stuff. You can keep up with all the behind the scenes work or all my other updates on anything that I'm working on. But the website is up and it is totally totally functional, and check it out. And please let me know what you think. Truly.
Let's go. Hey, thank you for sharing all the ideas with us. And
Of course.
coming in here and speaking about this.
Yes.
Man.
Thank you. Thank you. Till next time.
Let's go.
We still recording?